way it is packaged and everything, it is causing havoc. I can say it is causing havoc in society. So basically, this is Tuta Pack, and this is just a this is just one. Tuta Pack is just a brand, but you have different other brand names that are called Tuta Pack. But the most common name is Tuta Pack because anybody that you ask outside, they will. If you ask them, do you know Tuta Pack? Well, they will describe this thing for you. So you can see it is really very famous.
One of them?
Yeah, this is the bottle. You know, it is not only in the sachets, but it's also in the bottle.
Diplomat brandy.
Diplomat.
So well, why Diplomat? So now this is the whole sachet, right?
Yeah.
And how much do they sell this whole sachet for?
It is costing $70.
For this whole sachet?
For this whole sachet.
This much alcohol?
$70.
For $70?
Exactly. And the per sachet, yeah, it is costing like, you can have it as low as $3. You can imagine.
For this?
Yeah. They will sell one for, some people will call it 3 for 10. So you can see that it is like $3 for each.
Yeah. So instead of saying buy me to the pack, they could say buy me 3 for 10.
3 for 10. Some
and
people
then you bring 3 of these.
3 of this.
Yeah. Yeah. So Latir, what do you think? What problems would this bring, especially when it comes to the young people?
I think basically that's why we're here to talk about standardizing certain things, and this is one of the main things that need to be standardized. I've traveled quite a bit, and you hardly see these in European or in the Western world. Everything is bottled and packaged in such a way with labels that distinguish what kids can get and what kids can't get. There'll obviously be a black market for certain things, but our white market is not supposed to be this, how would I call it, relaxed when it comes to certain products. The negative effects are, I think we've seen it already in the society. Things have changed a lot. The grown-ups like to say it. They do not really know the reasons why. And I could easily say alcohol abuse could be one of those reasons. There are some areas, I went to a friend of mine's a few days ago, and this was a very quiet area. But nowadays I hear from 12 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning, people are just fighting. And these are very young kids. And this is a very civilized part of the Gambia. And
so
I am from a Christian family. So I've seen what alcohol can do. And more so if it's in the hands of people that don't even know the effect that alcohol has. I think if you're above a certain age, you have the choice to choose between drinking and not drinking, Islamic or not. But at a certain age, you're not that mature enough to decide whether this is right or wrong. And that is why standardizing these products is important. Legislating them is also important. And that is basically what we're here for.
Yeah, because definitely I talked about this twice, and I have also spoken to 2 ministers about this to see, to ask what they're doing about it. I had an EBE days and days where kids luncheon sales and stuff, they do use a lot, inter-house sports, they use a lot of this Tuta Pack. But what can be done now?
I think one thing that we can do is to come up with, to meet policymakers and then come up with certain
it's like it's not even sealed properly.
Yeah,
the packaging is poor.
The packaging is poor. It's leaking. See, my hand has Tuta Pack. What is it? Tuta Pack?
Tuta Pack.
Okay.
Tuta Pack. Yeah, I think we need to have some solid legislation, not only to have the legislation, but also to make sure that it is enforced. Because sometimes you see certain legislation that are not really enforced 1 week or 2 weeks, and then it dies out. So having a proper legislation and then make sure that it is enforced. We don't even really, because these people, they put their minus 18 plus. You can see it.
Yeah, not but that's not on the
yeah, it's only on the pack.
Yeah, not only on the pack itself. On the pack
and
itself.
This is not even visible. This is like a stamp.
Yeah, you can.
If it's wet, it will go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we need to look at a proper age where we said people below this age should not get this, should not have access to this. But here you go anywhere, they will sell it to you.
Yeah.
As last time I was talking to someone, he said, kid like 5-year-old kid can get this from anywhere. Some people will go with the excuse that they are sent by their parents also.
That's what the manufacturer told me. I spoke to one of them when I first did a talk on Tuta Pack. He came up here and said, well, I'm very shocked. I asked why. He said, because I did not know kids were taking this. He said, because kids will go and say, I'm buying it for my dad. But why? You should not sell it to them. If it is for their dads, let their dad come and get it for himself.
Yeah.
I think it's a culture issue. I also had another discussion at my office today, and I spoke of cigarette smoking and how we send kids to get it. It's not supposed to happen. The shopkeeper is not supposed to sell it as long as you're below a certain age. Because the problem with the tutor pack, personally, what I think is most of these kids go with the excuse that sumaya mayuni, sumapa mayuni. And sometimes maybe it's legit in the beginning. But as soon as the shopkeeper or the storekeeper notices that this kid comes sent by the mother or the father, they'll just sell it to the kid. And so stopping that is the important thing. Making sure that grown-ups only above a certain age buy it is what's important. I think we neglect a lot of age issues, and these are the things that we're talking about.
And
actually.
you guys have been investigating this. What did you find?
Well, with our investigation, as I said, it is costing like $3. You can have it for as low as $3. And we also found out that kids below the age of 8, less than 10, like 7 years old, can have access to it. And also, it is sold in the mini markets and other many other places. Sometimes we are also told like it is not only in this urban area. It is all over the Gambia now. You know, you go to villages, you can even have access to this. And some people will mistake it for juice, because kids, when you ask them why are you doing this, they say it's juice. Because sometimes you have another brand which looks like Wonjo, Wonjo stuff, so you think it's Wonjo.
Something got to be done about this, definitely. So my colleague was telling me, you know, he went with her daughter to the store, and the first thing the daughter saw was this, and said, "Daddy, this is what I want."
Yeah. And you know, there used to be this kind of ice Wonjo package like this, So kids also think that
they're called ice candies.
I forgot the name. It was very famous back then.
Very famous. Yeah. So you know, if they
ice lollies, something. Iceman. Okay.
So like if the producers or the manufacturers think that they can sell it at that low level, at that cheap rate, then you can see that
the target is kids.
even if their initial target was not the kids, but now kids are having access to it. And is causing trouble. So
who is involved in this fight? We have the Balafon, we have Lenderhan.
And we have people from the CPA and the UTG. It's basically a collective effort from young people. And these are people between the ages of 20 to 35 trying to make a difference.
Sure.
It's a terrible... I also once spoke about something like Kana. We've had that in our society for a long time, but you hardly see kids accessing it.
Kids don't have access
because
to
those that sell it are sure of who they're selling it to. But with products like these that are freely sent into the market, these people, first of all, want to make money. Basically, that's the honest truth. You go to a shopkeeper, you want to buy a pack of cigarettes, he doesn't care whether you're 15 or 12, he just wants that pack to go. It's the same thing with this. So unless stringent legislation is put in place that sees them punished for selling to minors, there's no way that business people are going to change with regards to this.
They should take this to the nightclubs. Because, you know, when you go to Duplex, you can buy alcohol there. We know it's a nightclub, and the people that go there are mature people. Because you cannot sell a $3 drink at Duplex. So if you sell this for $3 at local stores, then we know who your targets are. And that's definitely young people. We have some people here. We can, yes, would you like to say something? You can contribute. We have, Senesal.
Okay, good evening. I'm Sanasar, and I'm also a member of Balafong, the forum, and I just wanted to say, to add on to what they've already talked about, the reason why we're involved in this, as Latin mentioned, Balafong, the Facebook forum, is one that is just open. Anybody with a Facebook account can basically search for it and join. And what happens is you come on and you bring up a topic, anything that's relevant to Gambia, and we discuss it. And that's how this idea came about, where somebody brought it up, and then we start discussing it and, you know, talk about the ills of it. And then that's where people felt, some people felt that they had to do something about it. We can't just sit by and watch our society go down the drain, the young people, the promise of this country. And so that's why we got involved. And another such initiative that came out of the Balafong idea is GAM, which you will hear about in the near future. It's Gambians Against Rape and Molestation. Also from another discussion that people had on Balafong, and internationally, you know, we have meetings and everything, and people come together and say, we want to form an organization that will help, and we give our contribution. Now to focus on the this issue, which is the tutor pack, I mean, it's